Right. Right, I think we're live. Hello everyone. My name is Kieran from Red Door Weekly, and we are back doing previews on the channel. And we're previewing Spurs versus Manchester United, a massive game. Obviously, there won't be loads of fans there to see it, and that'll be a shame, but it is what it is. I'm just glad the football is back, and we can talk about other stuff other than politics and all the sort of mental things that have been happening in the world right now. Welcome to Red Door Studio. Welcome, G. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. As always, make sure to check out his channel. Really good stuff over on Red Devil Studio as well. But I'm just glad that I'm back talking about football and talking about Manchester United. And obviously I've been trying to do videos throughout the quarantine period, but ultimately doing transfer stuff is great, but most of the stuff you talk about when you talk about transfers is not based off facts. It's not based off, it's kind of based off rumours and stuff. But when you talk about previews and when you do reviews of games as well, you're looking at what's actually happening. And it's not. Basically, it's good to be talking about something that's substantial, if you know what I mean. But back, brother Game 1 thanks for joining. Appreciate the support. Love the hair. Yeah, I know it's got long, hasn't it? It's got a bit long. I do need a cut. I do need a cut badly, but I don't have a qualified hairdresser in the house, and I'm not willing to do it myself. So it is what it is. We're gonna leave it as it is. But as always with the previews, of course, I'll be giving you my predicted lineup, and make sure you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments as well, because I want to hear what you guys have to say. This is what the channel's about, you guys, and getting your opinions in, so make sure you do. And also, we're only 2 subscribers away from 800 subscribers, which is fantastic, so anything you can do to help us out with that would be absolutely amazing. But we're going to get into the preview now, and the first thing I want to talk about, and I think the first thing that most people are going to talk about, is Paul Pogba. Will he start, or will he be on the bench? And obviously, it's a dilemma for Solskjaer, I think. It really is a dilemma, because Pogba, whilst he is one of our best players, probably one of our most talented players, will it upset the rhythm if Pogba was to come back into the team straight away? Obviously, we've got Bruno Fernandes playing, some of the best football we've seen from a central midfielder at Manchester United. He's been amazing, and it's all about that partnership, whether Pogba can forge a partnership between with him and Bruno Fernandes. And there's a lot of question marks over that. I think both players are fantastic players, don't get me wrong. But realistically, will they gel in a team together? Will they be able to share the same space and, create goals together? Or will they get in each other's way? We saw it with Alexis Sanchez, that when Pogba and Sanchez started together, there was almost a bit of a rivalry there. I'm not sure. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because they're both two big egos in the kind of midfield forward line, and it just seemed to not work out. And I hope that's not the same for Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, because if they can forge a partnership, they can be one of the best partnerships in the Premier League. So I think that's going to be a dilemma that Solskjaer is going to have to figure out. Maybe it's going to take a few games to figure that out. Welcome, Manuel. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. His hi, mate. Hope you're good. Can't wait for tomorrow yet. I can't wait. Football is back. United are back. And we're playing a massive game against Jose Mourinho as well. Really, you couldn't ask for too many better games to come back to. Brother Game says, do you reckon you'll be allowed to shower soon? This lockdown has got me stinking like a hog. Brilliant from Brother Game in there. You can shower, mate. Please do shower. If you haven't showered since lockdown began, I'm worried for the people that live with you. I'm worried. Red Osseous, Bruno says he's looking forward to playing with Pogba. And I think, who wouldn't be looking forward to playing with Paul Pogba? Obviously, as a midfielder, he's, in terms of talent, he's one of the best in world football. And if he was, when he's on form, I think he's a joy to play with. But ultimately, obviously Bruno's going to have to say that, but I think Bruno knows that Pogba's got quality. He knows what he can do. And I think he knows as well, like many United fans know, if they can forge a partnership, it could be a very prosperous and important partnership for us going forward. Obviously, that there's a question mark over whether Paul Pogba is going to even stay at the club, so that's a question mark in itself. And if he does decide to stay at the club because of the way the partnership he forged with Bruno, then that's a big win for us, in my opinion. If, however, in these last kind of few games, Paul Pogba doesn't perform to a great standard, I want to ask you guys a question. Would you sell Paul Pogba? If Paul Pogba didn't perform to the best, if say, in these last 10 games, we didn't get enough out of Paul Pogba, do you think we should be happy to let him go, or do you think we should try with all our might to keep him? Let me know your thoughts. TTX on the stream, thanks for joining as always. Really appreciate it. So yeah, obviously Solskjaer's got a dilemma whether Pogba's going to start, and you'll find very, very soon in my predicted lineup whether I think Paul Pogba's going to start in this game. As I said, it's a tricky decision because if he starts Pogba, obviously most of the people on social media, most of the United fans will be appeased by that. They will be very happy that their star man's starting, and I think it'll obviously attract a lot of people to watch, to see how Pogba does. I can't remember the last time Paul Pogba actually started a game for us, so I think it'll be a massive thing if Paul Pogba was to start. But at the same time, Solskjaer has mentioned in his pre-match press conference, when he was asked about it, he said he wasn't sure how many minutes Pogba and Rashford are going to get. So if you look into that and infer into that, it suggests that Solskjaer's not 100% sold on the idea of Pogba starting and playing the full 90 minutes. Maybe what he's trying to say is, they'll both start, but how long they'll last is a different story. Because obviously they haven't played a game of football in ages, more than even the players who were playing regularly before lockdown began. So I think their match fitness is definitely going to be questioned, but at the same time, he's a quality player, and it's all about whether he can get that partnership with Bruno Fernandes going, because I don't see how he can drop Bruno Fernandes. And then also you've got the idea of, would he be disrupting the balance? Obviously, if we brought in Pogba, someone has to be replaced, and that's either Fred or Matic. And to bring in someone like Pogba, who isn't the best defensively, to swap out for a player who is very, very good defensively, then surely you'll then have three central midfielders who won't be able to do both the kind of box-to-box type thing. Bruno Fernandes kind of does it, but anyway, Brother Game says, Pogba's got to start, man. He's so good for Spurs. He's so good for Spurs so far this season, and Jose's got him playing really, really well. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to skip over that. TCX says, I would start Pogba, but I would understand if he was to be eased back from injury. I think, yeah, listen, obviously he's had a lot of time out, but it seems like he's recovered. And obviously he's been taking part in full training and everything like that. But a game is a completely different scenario when you're playing against world-class players, like we are going to be playing against when we play Spurs. It's a whole different kettle of fish, and I think Solskjaer might look to kind of ease him back into it. And I think Pogba will get some game time. I think that's 100% certain. It's just how much is going to be the question. Welcome, Box. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. So salute, Red Bull Weekly. Salute to you, sir. He wants to sell Pogba straight in there. To sell Pogba. Fair enough. As I said, I think if Pogba wants to leave, and obviously with the comments that he made earlier in the season, or even before the season started, it seemed like Pogba did want to leave. It seemed like he wanted a new challenge, obviously, was the main quote that was used. And if that is the case, and I agree with you, I think if he doesn't want to be at the club, I think we should get rid of him. Because there's no good having players at the club who don't want to be here, because they won't play the best for the club. They'll be ultimately frustrated with the way everything's going, so they're not gonna play to the best of their ability. So I think if Pogba does truly want to leave, then we should let him leave, and we should try and capitalise on the funds that comes from that. We might have to lower our price, of course, because let's face it, who wants to pay £150 million for Paul Pogba? But if Pogba even if Pogba raises his level over these last 10 games and still wants to leave, I still think we should let him leave, because even though he might be a brilliant player for us, if he doesn't want to be here, there's no point in keeping him. And I think if he does say, if he was to say, I want to leave and no one wants to come in for him, then I think we should even, lower our expectations for what we can get from other clubs, because as Red Hill Studio says there, obviously no one has the money because of the COVID-19 situation right now. Loads of clubs have been hit hard, and I don't expect many big money transfers to happen this summer. So in that respect, I think there's a chance we could keep Pogba. If this situation wasn't happening, I think it'd be very, very likely someone would at least sum up the money, or sum up at least a good sum of money, a substantial sum of money, and bid for Paul Pogba. But obviously with the COVID-19 situation right now, it's debatable whether anyone can realistically do that. Obviously you've got the likes of PSG and Real Madrid, who are realistically the only hopes in doing that. But even then, they're probably hit financially, and would you want to realistically risk spending all that money on a player that hasn't really proven himself massively? He's proven himself to a certain extent, but I haven't seen a Paul Pogba yet where he's been consistently world class. And if you're going to spend 150 million on a player, you need him to be consistently world class. So yeah, it's an interesting one, that. Box says, I was hoping for the Havertz rumours were true. Obviously Kai Havertz, going to Chelsea. I think Chelsea have done some ridiculous business. Werner, Ziyech, and obviously if Havertz comes, they're looking very, very strong indeed. Very, very strong. But yeah, Havertz is a quality player. If we were to get him through the door, I think that'd be a very, very good signing. But yeah, I'm not sure if the Havertz rumours are true. I'm not sure what's the situation with his contract. These days, usually when I hear about rumours, I usually think that they're just using Manchester United to get a new contract, and most of the time that's the case, unfortunately. But Havertz, I think he's a brilliant young player, and he's got loads more time in his career, so hopefully he goes from strength to strength, and hopefully he can play for us one day. Welcome the Assassin786, welcome to stream, mate, thanks for joining, really appreciate it. His opinion on the United stand. Look, obviously, you can't fault what Mark Goldridge and everyone over there has done. The fact they've risen and become the biggest Manchester United fan channel is a testament to them. They changed the game, obviously, since the kind of live stream type video came in, obviously with Mark Goldridge and that idea to do that with the United stand. Most fan channels now are doing live streams as their main content, and that was changed through the way that Mark Goldridge did it through the United stand. I'm not saying there weren't other people that were doing it at the same time, because there probably were, but the fact that I'm doing this right now and the fact that multiple fan channels are doing live streams is mainly due to the fact that he implemented it. So you have to give him props, and what he's built there is great. Obviously they got a new studio, so yeah, they've done very, very well. Some of the opinions on the United stand I don't really agree with. Some of the people on the United stand I don't really agree with, but in the end of the day, that's opinion, and you have to have, you can't agree with everyone. So I think they've done very, very well, and I think they've inspired a lot of people. So yeah, that's what I think of the United stand. TTX says, Kane and Dele and Son are the only players that would cause us trouble. Rest are trash. I tell you what, TTX, I hope you haven't jinxed it there, mate. I hope you haven't jinxed it. But yeah, obviously Kane and Son coming back into the team is a bit of a blow for us, really, considering when we would have played them before this whole situation, then we wouldn't have had to face Kane or Son, which I think they would have had basically Dele Alli and Stevie Bergwijn as their main forward men. And I think if that was the case, we would have been able to deal that we would have been able to deal with that very, very easily. Unfortunately, Kane and Son are a handful, and they're very. They last time Harry Kane played against us, he destroyed us pretty much. So I think, well, actually no, the last time he played against us at Old Trafford, he scored his first goal. But apart from that, he hasn't really done too much. He had a load of shots in the last time, and obviously De Gea came to our rescue, but he could have easily had 2 or 3 goals in that game. Heung-min Son's a fantastic player, skillful, pacey, and just a handful to deal with. So it's going to be difficult for our defence, I have to say. Box Spurs are a very good team, I agree. Reese, thanks for joining, Reese. Really appreciate it. No worries, mate. On this channel, you can never be late. Look, I was late. I was late by about 20 minutes. I said I was going to start at 9:10. I started about 9:30. So, honestly, do not worry about being late, mate. Honestly, don't worry. Red Hill Studio says, by the way, bro, you still using StreamYard or OBS? I'm using OBS currently, but I can switch between the two really. I don't mind. I think StreamYard is obviously a great platform, a really good way of streaming, and I know a lot of streamers have adopted that way of streaming. You see the Arsenal Fan TV, the United Stand, all of them when they're streaming with other people have adopted StreamYard. I think it's a really, really good piece of kit. So yeah, I kind of go between both, but right now I'm on OBS Studio. Welcome to Simri Wavy. Thanks for joining, Simri. Really appreciate it as always. And guys, by the way, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support. Really appreciate it. We're back doing previews and I'm just enjoying it right now. And we're only 2 subscribers away from 800 subscribers. So anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, Box says, I'm not sure the point in buying Grealish. Well, obviously Jack Grealish, we saw him play. I mean, you guys might have seen him play. I'm sure you did. In the first game back in the Premier League against Sheffield. He had a bit of a quiet game, I'm not going to lie. He didn't really influence the game too much, but you can't really judge a player off one game. But I think in terms of this transfer window, we have to be clever about what we do, because obviously we're going to have a lot more funds than a lot of other clubs. And a lot of other clubs are going to be struggling and will need the money. So that puts us in a very potentially powerful position. So for me, I think we need to capitalise on that. And whether we go in for Sancho or whether we go in for Grealish, or we just need to bring in the right players for the team. And I think we kind of did that in the summer. We didn't launch in and buy players just for the name on the back. Like, we bought in Harry Maguire because we needed a centre-back. Wan-Bissaka, we needed a right-back. Daniel James, of course, was a bit of a bargain anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, welcome to everyone just joining, by the way. Really appreciate it. Ahmed, welcome to the stream. One away now. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Really appreciate you joining. Lil Strekok. Sorry, man. I need to pronounce your name right. Lil Strecker says, welcome to the stream, by the way. He says, 1-2 Spurs United IMO. Okay, well, there you go. I'm not sure if you mean 2-1 to United. But if you do mean 2-1 to United, then that's the correct answer. But anyway, thanks for joining. Edvin, thank you so much for subscribing, man. 800 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for 800 subscribers. You guys are legends. And you guys make the channel, really. You guys make it. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Asked1234, thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate you sharing your opinion. He says, quiet game. He played as more of a box-to-box, and he was a struggle for Sheffield. Look, I watched the game, and I thought he was alright. He was alright. I'm not saying he was bad. I thought he was alright. But ultimately, I wasn't sure whether he created too many clear-cut chances in that game. And for a player of Grealish's quality, I'd expect a bit more from him. Maybe I'm wrong. But I didn't rate his performance too much. As I said, maybe I'm wrong. And I'm not saying I'm right. You're probably right, to be honest. Box says Grealish is decent, but not sure whether he fits, especially now Fernandes has joined. It's a good point. It's a very, very good point. Obviously, with Bruno Fernandes in the team, would Grealish realistically be a sensible signing to make? I'm not sure. Welcome to Clark Media. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. And welcome to Graham. Thanks for joining. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? And welcome, Draco. Thanks for joining. Make sure you check out Draco's channel. Such great stuff on there. Welcome, my man. How are you doing, Draco? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. TTX says, hopefully we get a DM like Ndidi or Calvin Phillips. I just don't trust the board just yet. Well, listen, I think the 3 signings that they've made, arguably you can't say have been bad. Daniel James, even though he's had a bit of a barren run as of late, he only cost us, 15 million? Was it something 15, 20 million? So he hasn't really put too much of a dent on our transfer budget. So ultimately, you can't say that he's... You can't say really that's a bad signing. Harry Maguire, obviously he's going to get so much more stick because of his transfer fee of £80 million. But I think he's been a fantastic addition to that back line. I think we have become more solid. I think in our last run of games, or somewhat, I don't know the exact stat, but in a decent run of games, we've only conceded like 2 goals. So, and Harry Maguire obviously has been part of that, and I think he's been very much a stabilising force in that defence. He's made a few mistakes, but I think as of late he's been very, very good. And obviously Wan-Bissaka has just gone from strength to strength. Unbelievable. So, for me, I think the signings that the board have made so far, this season anyway, have been alright. But it'll be interesting to see what will happen when probably in this transfer window we'll have less funds to play with. And we'll have to be a bit more shrewd with our business. It'll be interesting. Graham says, I need Ndidi in centre mid and Sancho at right wing. I think those would be two very, very good signings. Especially if we keep Pogba, we do need to bring in a defensive midfielder. But then I feel bad for McTominay and Fred, really, because I feel like they haven't really done anything wrong. You can't say that those players have realistically done anything wrong. Because I think they've been brilliant for us since obviously Pogba has been out and Bruno Fernandes. Before Bruno Fernandes came in, Fred was really good. But it is what it is, isn't it? Graham also says 3-1 United win. Good on you, Graham. Good on you, my friend. 3-1 United win. Beautiful. Draco, there's lots of people watching. Let's get the likes following. Thank you so much, Draco. Appreciate it. And yeah, if you can follow Draco's lead there, that would be very much appreciated. We've hit 800 subscribers in the stream, which is amazing. I just want to say thank you to you guys again for making the stream, making it great, making it a fantastic experience for everyone, and just sharing your opinions freely, because this is what it's about. Drake also says, I feel Dan James will have a huge impact tomorrow. I think he need a rest. I think, yeah, obviously it's a good point, because Daniel James was not brought in to play every game of our season. He was brought in to be a squad player that we kind of slowly develop and slowly bring into the first team. But actually, because of injuries to Rashford and Martial at different points in the season, Daniel James has had more game time than I think he would have even expected. And I think he's happy with it, but at a certain point, obviously, you're going to get blown out. And obviously, Mason Greenwood has had the same thing, where he's had a lot more game time than probably even he thought he was going to get at 18 years old. So it's been very, very good for both of them to have that sort of game time, but I think they did need a rest, 100%. Ask1234, name your 11 and sub lineup for Spurs, and will Pogba play in the eyes of Ole? Well, very, very good suggestion, mate, because I am going to get onto that in just a second. So just wait there, because I've got a graphic and everything. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Box says I prefer Pirlo type midfielder, that like a Bardella, Tonali. We've already have Matic, Fred, McTominay, who are similar to Ndidi. I think you're right in that. Obviously, we've got players that are very similar to Ndidi already. But to be fair, if you do look at all the best teams in history, like the Barcelona sides, Real Madrid sides, the Netherlands side, or the Spanish side that won the Euros twice and the World Cup, they all had those type of Pirlo players in their midfield, those kind of players that could dictate the play. And maybe you're right, maybe we do need to bring in someone like that. But I also think it's important that we do keep a balance, because if we don't keep that balance, then whilst, if we have a bad day going forward, we've got no cover for our backline. And whilst our backline's improving, I'm not sure if... I think you always need to have some backline there. Lil Schrecker says, young Mark Goldbridge, keep it up. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. It says, TTX, in terms of recruitment, it's been great, but transfer negotiations are being dealt quite slowly, unlike Chelsea and other clubs who didn't take that long. That is definitely true. We do take too long. Ultimately, what I find is we'll try and go in with a ridiculously low price, and then we'll get rejected. Then go back in with another one, get rejected. Go back in with another one, rejected. And we get rejected until we pay the price that they asked for originally. What's the point in that? What is the point in that? Graham says, would you play a diamond midfield of 4 tomorrow with Rashford and Martial up top, or stick to the 4-2-3-1 and drop 2 midfielders? You'll find out in just a second, Graham. But I'm gonna let you on a little secret. I have gone with a 4 at the back. So there you go. Draco says, Ndidi will be a dream. McTominay and Fred will get a lot of game time, 50 plus games a season, and of course injuries will happen. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they will get game time. They will get game time at some point. But yeah, obviously they have played really, really well, so they definitely wouldn't want to get dropped. But to be fair, who would want to get dropped? A bit of a stupid comment, really. TCX says, Fred doesn't have the natural instincts, defensive awareness, and discipline of a proper DM. Well, I think Fred's been very, very good. I think, to be fair, when Fred first came in, I think a lot of people had doubts. But actually, I think recently, I think it was kind of towards the turn of the year when he started to really, really turn it on. He started to really, really, play well. And I think he's been one of our best players this season, I have to say. And the way he's kind of come back from a lot of stick that he got, I have to commend him. Whether he's the best quality midfielder that we have is a different question. But I think at least towards the end of the season, I wouldn't sit too comfortably with dropping Fred. But as I said, I might be wrong. I think Fred. I'd be surprised if Fred is still at Manchester United in maybe 2 or 3 years' time. But I think as of right now, I think there's other positions we should focus on, in my opinion. But obviously, it's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Edwin says, I hope we don't play a 5 at the back. Well, I think, to be fair, Solskjaer likes to play a 5 at the back, especially in the big games. We played a 5 at the back against City. I think we played it against Liverpool as well. So I wouldn't be surprised, mate. I would not be surprised if we play a 5 at the back. Graham says, amazing job, mate. Are you working on members club for the channel? I'd love to join. I don't have a members club. I haven't really thought about doing a members club because this is kind of a bit of a small community, really. So it's just kind of me talking to a camera whenever I feel like it. So yeah, I mean, a members club is an interesting idea. And if you if you think that'd be a good idea, then let me know. I might have to look into what a members club is because I'm not too sure what it is. But yeah, if you think it's a good idea, then let me know, and I might look into sorting that out. Armol Jane 174. Why is my chat getting deleted? I hope it isn't. I don't have any. Well, I don't think there's any mods in the chat right now who's deleting it. So if it is getting deleted, I really do apologise. But thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. And yeah, thank you very much for joining. Patrick, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Long time no see, my friend. How you doing, mate? Welcome back to the channel. Really appreciate it. I'm well. I'm very, very good, Patrick. Very, very good. Hopefully you guys are doing good as well, and obviously with all you guys in the stream right now, I just want to say hopefully you guys having a well, I say good time in lockdown. It's hard to have a good time, but hopefully you guys are doing well and staying strong in there. I can see the good days on the horizon, so stick in there and it'll be fine. No worries. Graham says, true that Fred has been phenomenal this season. Can't play Matic for sure versus Spurs because he's not as mobile as Fred. And I think, look, Matic isn't as mobile as Fred, and I think Matic's performances have increased, and they've been have improved, I should say, quite a lot over the last kind of few matches. But it's a toss up, that one. It really is a toss up. I'm not sure who I play, so to speak. Welcome to Kimutai Salat, welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. It says, really wish to see your channel grow. Appreciate your support, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Lil Schmecker says, I think we'll start Matic and Fred later. Sub on McSauce and Pogba. Really present to see you. Really is, says Patrick. Thank you very much. Well, talking about the lineup, we're going to go into it now. Because I did promise that ages ago and I didn't really deliver on it. So we're going to go into it now. So my predicted lineup for the game. Here it is. Obviously, you guys can't see your comments on the screen right now. I do apologise. But here is a predicted lineup. You might hear a what from the crowd.
Why is Greenwood in there?
What do you mean, why is Greenwood? Listen, it's my predicted lineup anyway.
Is this predicting what Solskjaer's going to line up with?
This is my prediction for what the lineup's going to be. Okay. Thank you. That was Big O in the background. Anyway, De Gea in goal. I've gone with a back 4. I have gone with a back 4. I think a back 5 is definitely possible, but I've gone with a back 4 in this case. I've gone with Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bailly and Shaw. Obviously, it's a toss-up between Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof. And for me, I think since Bailly's come back in, he's been one of our best players. He's been one of our best players. I think he's been involved in 5 clean sheets since he's been back into the team. He's had a massive impact, so I don't see why we would just take him out of the team again. I don't see why we do that. So I've gone with Maguire and Bailly, and then I've gone with Luke Shaw at left back. Obviously, it could be a back 5, as I said. You could bring someone like Brandon Williams in there, or even bring Lindelof as a centre back. So we'll see how Solskjaer does. As I said, he does like to play a back 5 in the big games. I have gone with Matic, Fred, and Bruno. I don't think Pogba's going to start this game. I have a feeling Pogba's not going to start this game. Now, you guys, I can't see the comments right now, but you guys might be going absolutely mental right now. I don't think Pogba's going to start, but simply because Solskjaer won't want to change the team too much. I feel like Pogba would potentially upset the balance, and I think Solskjaer will look to start with a similar sort of team that that we went into the last game with. And obviously Matic, Fred and Bruno playing as that midfield three. It's one of those things where it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And maybe Pogba might come on as a half-time sub, who knows. I've gone with Rashford on the left, Martial up front, and Greenwood on the right. Obviously Dan James isn't starting for me as well. That front three, I think, you could probably swap out Greenwood for Daniel James. But there's not too much manoeuvre in that front three. But obviously if we played a 5-3-2 or whatever we play, it might be different. You could see Rashford and Martial up front together. But for me, I've gone with those three up front. So let me know what you think of my lineup. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm spot on? Let me know your thoughts. But there's my predicted lineup. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Bailly, Shaw, Matic, Fred, Bruno, Greenwood, Martial and Rashford. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat. Patrick is going to be sad in it behind closed doors, but it's better than doing nothing during these times. 100% Patrick, 100% agree with you, mate. It's better than nothing, it really is. And actually, with the crowd noise, it's not too bad. It really isn't too bad. Edwin says, I agree, but I think Dan James will be on the right. Okay, yeah, obviously, I think that is one of the positions where there definitely could be a difference between Greenwood and Dan James. You could swap them out very easily. So, yeah, I think you could be right there. Buck says, I'd start Lindelof and James. Lindelof, again, I guess, but the second centre-back position is, again, one of those positions which could be swapped out. And, yeah, I think, I don't think Lindelof's a bad player, but I think in terms of the centre-back hierarchy at the club, I would say Bailly's ahead of Lindelof for me, especially with the way he played in recent games. But, obviously, Solskjaer likes Lindelof. He's played Maguire and Lindelof for most of the season. Obviously, since Bailly's come back into the team, Bailly's played more often. But even though Bailly's fully fit, he's still not playing all the games, which suggests to me that Lindelof is still very much in favour with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So it's good, obviously, to have that competition, but that's why a five at the back is likely, because he won't want to leave out Bailly or Lindelof, so you can play a back three and have Maguire, Lindelof and Bailly in that back three. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Welcome Jimbo, thanks for joining Jimbo, really appreciate it. He says, not a Man United fan, but hope you win, I think Pogba will play. Well, thank you very much for the support, Jimbo, I hope the team are listening. But yeah, I think Pogba, again, I haven't included Pogba, but we'll see how it goes. Again, that's a bit of a flip of the coin, but I just think that Solskjaer won't want to upset the balance of the team. I think Pogba will feature in the game, whether that be a substitute appearance or starting, I'm not sure. But if I was to predict it, I think he'll probably be on the bench. Graham says, can't go with a back five. I feel that that's too defensive. Haven't played well with that formation. But yes, 4-3-2-1 is perfect. Yeah, I think we played a back five in most of the big games this season with varying degrees of success. Obviously, we played against Man City and we got the job done there. We played against Liverpool and it didn't really help, to be honest. I mean, we were solid for most of the game. They just scored a corner and a last-minute goal where we had all the players up. So it is. I mean, I don't know. I'm not one of those people who are like really big on tactics. I understand the tactics, but at the same time, I'm not someone who could tell you exactly what the problems is with five at the back and four at the back. But obviously, with this Spurs team, I would have said, if they didn't have Harry Kane and Son coming back into the team, I would have said a five at the back is way too defensive because they don't have that sort of threat. But now they've brought in Kane and Son back. They've got Kane, Son and Bergwijn. We have to contest with them, and maybe a five at the back might be alright, considering they've got a lot to offer up front. Lil Shrekker says, I agree with the lineup. Ollie will use 4 subs, replace Green with DJ, Bailly with Lindelof, Fred with Pogba, and Matic with McTominay. There you go, Lil Shrekker already predicting the subs. I love that. But they all look spot on, to be honest. I would not be surprised if that happened. Graham says, also, since I'm new here, could you give us an induction, mate? Well, there's nothing to induct, to be honest. It's just a YouTube channel where I talk about Manchester United. My name's Kieran, by the way. Spelt C-I-A-R-A-N, so it's a bit of a different spelling. But it honestly doesn't matter. Don't worry if you spell it wrong. But yeah, anyone who is new here, thank you for watching. My name's Kieran, and basically on this channel, It's a free debate. Anything goes. You can say whatever you want, and in the live chat, give your opinion on anything I say. And sometimes I do call-in shows where you guys can give me your opinion. But during the season, I usually do match previews and match reviews, and just do videos on my take on any kind of breaking Manchester United news or any kind of current events to do with Manchester United. I also do transfer videos, and we talk about different transfer things, but mainly I do them in a stream format, and I don't keep to a subject really. You know, whatever you guys want to talk about is really the topic of the stream. Usually I'll just start off by giving my thoughts on whatever's in the title, and then once we just go from there, we just kind of bounce off you guys' comments and your questions, and that's all that happens really. So that's kind of the induction, to be honest with you. There's nothing much to induct. Just have fun. As long as you're having fun, as long as you're entertained, and always make sure you let me know if I'm doing anything wrong or if I'm doing anything right, or if you've got any suggestions, please do let me know. So you know, that's all it is. And in the end of the day, if you're not finding it interesting, feel free to leave or do something else. So yeah, that's it. So thank you very much to everyone who has joined. Really appreciate it. So there we go. If you want to ask any more questions about myself, I'll probably answer them. I'll make sure I answer most of them, at least any of them which aren't too personal, if you know what I mean. But yeah, if you've got any questions, fire away. Patrick said Chelsea's got Werner, so that's good news to sleep on. Yeah, I know. Chelsea are looking good. Chelsea are looking good for next season, man. They're looking good. Ziyech coming in, Werner coming in, potentially Havertz as well. Somebody else mentioned earlier in the stream. Chelsea are looking good. They're looking good, man. I've got to say. I think there could be a challenger for next season, especially with the young players they've already got. It's a frightening prospect, but Frank Lampard, he's done an alright job so far. If they can get them into the top 4 at the end of the season, then, you know, who knows what the limit is for Chelsea. I mean, it'd be so funny if they didn't get top 4 and then bought all those players, and then they move from clubs that were in the Champions League and now they're not in the Champions League anymore. That would be pretty funny, but, well, hopefully we beat Tottenham and we put the pressure on Chelsea. I think if we beat Tottenham, I'm not sure when Chelsea are playing, but if we beat Tottenham tomorrow, I think we go into 4th place on goal difference if Chelsea were to lose. So that's good. Asked123 says, I hate the 5 at the back, because that's what Mourinho will do, and a draw isn't enough. Yeah, I think a draw in this game would be a bit disappointing. Obviously, going away to Spurs and getting a draw, in reality, isn't that bad of a result. In terms of the context of where we are right now in the league, it wouldn't be a brilliant result. But in terms of, you know, the fact that, well, if there were fans and things like that, going to a top 6 side away and getting a draw isn't that bad a result. But obviously there's no fans to contest with and things like that, so it's a different playing field really when there's no one in the stadium. Paddock says, you've got any solid rumours about United, or maybe you should stream about rumours this weekend. Maybe, look, if any solid rumours come out, then I will, but the likelihood is with Manchester United is most of the rumours that come out are rubbish. Most of them, you know, aren't worth talking about, to be honest. But if rumours do come out, look, trust me, I'll be the first one giving my thoughts on it. No problem at all. No problem at all. This is a very human place to be, and simple as real. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. I know, it is. It's just a place where you can share your opinion, and, you know, it's not toxic. People just share their opinion. People kind of counteract each other. No one's hateful. It's a nice place to be, and that's because of you guys. So thank you very much. Graham said he would love to see a rating show of the player performances after tomorrow's match. I will do that. I will be doing a review after the match as well. And usually I do my reviews as videos rather than live streams, and especially because tomorrow's match starts at 8 PM, which means the match won't finish till about 10. So usually I just kind of get it up in a video format. But if you guys want to see it as a live stream format, then let me know. Of course, all my other content on the channel is up. So if you want to check out all my other stuff, make sure you do so. It's up on the channel right now. You should do watch-alongs, says Little Shrekker. I actually did used to do watch-alongs until they got really heavy on the copyright. Because they used to copyright streams like nothing. They used to just hand them out like yellow and red cards. And yeah, it was a bit annoying, and it was hard to do them without getting striked. So I didn't want to do that. But I am thinking about doing something like that, where maybe I just film myself watching the game and edit it and upload my reactions. And if you guys want to see that, let me know, because I've been kind of thinking about that idea for a lot of time. So yeah, I think watch-alongs are definitely in the pipeline. Especially for these sort of games when the fans can't go to the games. I think watch-alongs would be really, really good. R says we can easily tear up Spurs. We need to pressure them in the first 30 minutes and use our 5 subs. I like the optimism there, mate. I really do like the optimism. I hope we do tear Spurs up. I really do. I think defensively they're not the strongest. Defensively they're definitely not the strongest. Even with Mourinho in charge, you would have thought their defence would have shored up, but I'm not sure it has. So we can definitely get at them, especially on the wings. If Aurier plays, I think Rashford can really go in. But yeah, it's going to be based on whether how Spurs line up really and how all that goes. But I think in terms of whether we can tear them apart, if we're on form and they're not, it could get ugly. But at the same time, it could be the other way around. These big games, it doesn't matter about the form you go into them. It's about who's better on the day and who has the better preparation. So yeah, that's it. That's that. Graham says I agree, mate, but then I feel like we've been very good against the top 6 sides, and we need a win tomorrow other than a draw. I agree. I think we need to win this game. If we win this game, we go level on points with Chelsea, and that's a massive, massive statement, especially when Chelsea have got to play a few more difficult teams than us, I believe. I think they do. So I think if we need to put pressure on Chelsea whenever we can. And also, if we win this game, we move 7 points clear of Spurs. So that's another team that's quite far behind us. So the more distance we can put between ourselves and the chasing pack, and the closer we can get to Chelsea, the better. So a win is very much key. Slap a like now. Cheers, Patrick. Appreciate you. Appreciate Patrick. Long time. Graham says, would love it as a live stream, the player reviews. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I'll see if I can do that, mate. I'll see if I can do that for you. R says, the defence lacks pace and age, and Pogba can make deep passes to the front 3 and run right past them. I hope you're right, man. I think Pogba does have the ability to do that. I just hope we get the right Paul Pogba turning up. I hope we get the good Paul Pogba turning up, the world-class Paul Pogba turning up. That's what we need. And if all the players play to the best of their ability, we should beat this Spurs team. But I'm going to give my prediction right now, and you'll see whether I'm optimistic or pessimistic. But before I do that, and this is usually the last thing we do in our streams, put your score prediction in the live chat right now. Get me your score predictions in the live chat right now. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and even you could add in who you think is going to score the goals as well. Go mental, go mental. Let me know your score predictions in the live chat. I'm going to give you my score prediction right now. I think it's going to be a very, very different prospect for us. I think Spurs have some decent players. They've got, obviously, Harry Kane, Hueng, Son, Bergwijn, who, as a trio, are very hard to deal with. And I think there'll be goals in this game. I really do. I think we'll win the game 2-1. I think it'll be a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I know that sounds really safe, but I think a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I think we're going to go Marcus Rashford, especially with the week he's had and the stuff he's done, which is amazing, by the way. I think Marcus Rashford's going to score, and I think Anthony Martial as well will get on the score sheet. So for me, I think it's going to be Martial and Rashford scoring the goals for us. A 2-1 win. We go away from the White Hart Lane with a win, and I hope I'm right. And I hope if any of you guys give positive predictions, you're right as well, because a win would be absolutely massive. Because looking at the fixtures, Spurs are the only amazing team that we have to play. And I mean, they're not even that amazing, but they're the only top 6 side, apart from Leicester, of course, who are flying this season, that we have to play. So I'm looking forward to it. I think a 2-1 win. Let's hope for the best. Ask1234 says, Paul Pogba despises Mourinho, and trust me, when Pogba wants to win, he'll play like Scholes. 3-1 to us. I love that. 3-1. So you think Pogba's going to have his revenge. I hope you're right. Ask1234. Patrick says, 2-1 United, Rashford and Maguire header. Maguire getting on the score sheet. There you go. I think, you know what? He did it against Chelsea. Why not do it again against a flaky Spurs defence? Little Shrekker, 2-1 United win. 2-1 seems to be the popular prediction. Edwin says 2-0 to United, a clean sheet. So does Kim Tai, 2-0 to. Oh no, sorry. For some reason I thought he said 2-0 to Spurs. But yeah, 2-0 to United. So we've got 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-1, 3-1. Graham goes with a 3-1 Rashford brace and Bruno set piece goal. That would be delicious seeing Bruno Fernandes score a free kick. But to be fair, after what Marcus Rashford did against Chelsea, can you really take Rashford off free kicks? It's an interesting one. Just quickly, Graham says Pogba has a point to prove with Mourinho, by the way. He didn't play in the reverse fixture at Old Trafford earlier in the season, so he'll be smelling blood tomorrow. I hope he is. I hope he's on top form. Graham says 3-1. Oh, I've already read that, but yeah, 3-1 Rashford brace and Bruno set piece goal. Kim Tai says Bruno goal and assist. So people thinking Bruno's going to turn up tomorrow. Edwin says Pogba to come on and score, then shush Mourinho. Wow, what an image that would be. TTX goes 2-1 United. So the majority are saying 2-1 United, and I think the majority are also saying we're going to score 2. So that seems to be the majority view. As I said, I think 2-1 to United. Any win, 1-0 win, a scruffy win for me, 3 points at this stage of the season is all that matters, to be honest. It's all that matters that we get the 3 points, we put the pressure on Chelsea going into the next game. That's all that matters. But guys, I'm going to end it there. This stream has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to everyone who is new that has joined and everyone who has been watching regularly. Really appreciate it, guys. Honestly, thank you so much for 800 subscribers. Really appreciate your support. Please do come back next time. Come back tomorrow for the review and the player review as well that we're going to be doing after the game. Make sure you do leave a like on the stream if you aren't already. That really does help us out. And subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And yeah, come back for the content. Really appreciate it. You guys have made my night. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys stay safe. And hopefully we get the win tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. And hopefully you're looking forward to it too. The Premier League's back. Manchester United are back as well. And it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really, really good one. And I'm positive. I am positive going into a game, which might be dangerous, but who knows. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And hope to see you soon. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll see you later.